Hey everyone, this is Chrono AB. In this video I am going to make this game. Not the whole game by the way, but we're going to make this level, which is going to be an endless level. It is fairly simple to make, and in this series is basically focused for beginners, and by the end of this series there's going to be many videos in this series. You will know how to make a game. So let's get started. To make this game in Unity you just need two things. First of all, you need this asset pack, let's call it an asset pack, and you need Unity. This asset pack, I would recommend making it in Photoshop, because you can just save it as a Photoshop file and you can edit it for later. This is fairly simple, there's nothing there. Wait for a minute. So these are all the things you need: two balls, one circle, and a square. You don't need to make four square, you don't make it a thin circle. Alright, instead of this, make a thin circle, and don't have any background, so that we can actually use all of these as individual objects instead of what do you call that, a single object. Alright, so this is all you need. I'll maybe have a link in the description if you want to download it. I don't think you want to download it, you can just fairly make it, right? So this is all you need for the assets, and you need Unity Hub. To download Unity Hub you have to go to unity3d.com. right? If you go to unity3d.com, you don't even have to let it load. Oh, it's already loaded. Alright, it's already loaded. Now just go here, get started, and you're not some business or enterprise, so go individual. You don't want to pay money, so go get started. And you can do get started because you're a new user. You can get here, you'll have a really good motivational video saying, what do you call that, your first game will always be bad, so don't worry about it. Your first game is not going to be great. Rome was not built in a day. Your first game will not be built in a day, so don't worry if you are taking it slow and you're doing it really slowly. Don't try to make it perfect, but have fun. That is all they say, and they'll give you really good tips and tricks maybe, right? But I would recommend go here, inexperienced user, just click. By clicking this, you have agreed to the terms and services, and then download Unity Hub. Alright, I already have, okay, I don't have Unity Hub. Save it, this will be installed. Download it, sorry. And after you download it, you just install it and then launch Unity Hub. Alright, this is Unity Hub. In the projects panel, I don't think anything will be there, right, for you, because, well, you have never downloaded it basically. So in the project panel you won't have anything, and in learn you can just learn different things, tutorials, right? There are many other things, but these are not focused for beginners, even though it's written for beginner, I think so. But yeah, so go here, go to the installs. You have no Unity version, I guess. If you don't have any Unity version, just add here, add the latest one, Unity 19.2.9 F1 apparently, and then add modules. In the modules section, add this module. For Android support, add this. For iOS support, I'm just going to do for Android. Hit next, agree the license terms and conditions, and after some time your game will be installed. Alright, it needs to be downloaded, so I'll just skip this section. So hey, mine is done. Now let's go to projects and just install a new project. Just add a new project. We're gonna make a 2D game, so I have a 2D project. Name it something like two balls, let's just name it 2BALZ, balls. I'm gonna save it in any directory you want. Right, so let's just create it. So once you open Unity, you will see this. I will teach you everything as the video goes on, but for now just know this, that this is called a project window, where you can just drag your assets here, right? Import, this is where you import your assets. This is called the hierarchy, where you just drag your assets and make it into a game object, and this is the inspector where, as you can see right now, your assets and your game object have different components. This is called the transform component, where you can just edit your object, like you can just move them, rotate them. You can see there z-axis, rotate them, and then you can just scale them as well. You just messed everything up. Just click here and reset. Everything is done. Now this is called a scene where you can edit. You can see, right? This is a scene window. You can edit everything. Make it a bit bigger. You can do anything here. And this is called game menu, where your player will see. Where the player will see. This is the scene menu. This is the game menu, where the player will see how your game is. Right? That is all you need to know right now. Now let's just set up our player. To set up our player, we have to drag and drop these 2-ball sprite. Right? But when you do that, you see everything has been dragged and dropped. And as you can see, you can control everything. Cannot control one thing individually. Right? So to make all of this individual, because Unity thinks these are all one big object, to make all of this individual object, just delete this first, go here, and as you can see, sprite mode thinks it's a single object, make it multiple, so that you will know there is multiple objects. Go to sprite editor, apply, and then just for now you can do one by one like this. But instead of doing that, control instead of doing that, just automatically it will slice, because these are just squares and circles, so it will be easy for it to slice automatically. Just apply this, cut this, and then now when you press this, you see the individual object. Just drag this will be our player, player, and this will be the first ball one, and this will be the second ball. So right red ball, this is right red, and right blue. And since we're making an Android game, so it should be in portrait. This game is in portrait mode. So to make something in portrait mode, what you have to do is just go plus, and in height put 1920. The resolution of your screen, 1920 in height, and width should be 1080. Like that. Just press OK. I already have like 2 of those, so I just did this. Now let's just set it up. Let's make, and to, because this whole thing has to be one object, so that we can control it all, just press shift, click both of them, drag and drop here, close this, and now you can, what do you call this, you can control all of them at once, and this is how we're gonna play the game. So for now, let's just make it a bit smaller. Just go here and click here, click shift, and just make it smaller, and it's transformed on the x-axis to 0. It will be in the center. Y-axis, it could be a bit up there. Now it's done. Our game looks pretty good. Alright, now we are going to make the player move. We're going to make its controller, so click on the player so that we have player enabled. Now click here and write player movement, P-L-A-Y-R, move player, M-O-V-E-M-E-N-T. New script, click here, it will be new script, and it will say click and add. So it'll take some time, it'll add. Go to, what do you call that, ignore this, cut here, go here, new Visual Studio will be opened. Take some time. So when you're opening Visual Studio, this will be all the things there is. So first of all, I will tell you, you don't need to worry about these 3 things. Just, you can even remove these 2 things, just remove it, that the code will look much more cleaner. And you just need to worry about these 2 things, the start function and the update function. What the start function does is what it said here. it is called before the first frame update. So that means basically whenever you start the game, this will be called first, and whenever you update the game, this will be called first. By updating, it means it will be called every frame per second. So let's say you have a computer that runs at 60 frames per second, then that means this will be called 60 times every second. I'll show you an example. You can follow along, like write debug. When you see the name, just press tab, debug.log, press tab, and then do this in what the quotations, write I love this, maybe I love this. So now we have made this code. Let's just save it, and when you go here in your console, if you don't have console, no problem, it will be here. If you press that, console will appear. So I love this, and it has only been rendered once. So if you write something like, let's just stop this, and let's say if you just wrote something like this in your update, by the way, something like this, what do you call that, debug, debug.log, and let's say I am a hero, maybe, I don't know, I'm a hero. If you write something like this, semicolon, always hit semicolon to end a code. If you write something like this, and now let's just clear this, play, you will see start has printed this once, and update has been printing this every second. See, it's just printing it every second, and maybe more than 60 frames per second, maybe more than 120 frames per second. My computer is fast. So that is what start does, and that is what update does. All right, that was all that I needed to teach you. Now, to make our object move, we have to tell this code to move the transform of this object, because this is here. You have to tell it to, like, let's say move on the y-axis like this every frame. Got it? Or move on the x-axis every frame. You can't move in the z-axis because it's a 2D game. So let's just keep it at 0. Let's keep this at 0. Yeah. So to do that, you have to do it in update. You cannot do it here. You have to do it in update by writing transform dot translate, T-R-A-N-S-L, translate, and now vector3 dot translate. That means in which direction you want to move here. Now if you see here, so let's say we want it to move up. All right, so you have to move the y-axis, right, on the positive side, so that it will move up, otherwise it will go down. Yeah. Now you can write something like on the x-axis it will not move at all, so 0. On the y-axis it will move with, let's say, some amount of speed. Let's call it as speed, speed. Got it? And on the z-axis it won't move at all. This is all that we have to do. Speed, there is no speed, so let's make a value called speed. So write public, pu public, and flo float, speed, speed. When you write public float speed, now there is nothing wrong here. Now when you save this code, right, and look here, after some time there will be something in the inspector. So it's asking us at what speed should I travel this object upwards, right? Let's say 1, speed of 1. So when you play, whoa, that was fast. So it goes 1 every frame, 1 unit every frame. That is really fast. That's why we use something to smooth out that, and it is called, we just multiply it by time dot delta time, so that this basically you can just write here something like time dot delta time. If you write here, yeah, you'll see here Unity has this, every code has a definition here, but basically this means that, because basically what does this mean is, wait, let me think, it makes your object move with a certain speed on every computer. Right now it moved really fast, right, because I have because I may have a faster computer, it may move really slow on yours because you may have a slower computer, or it may move even faster because you have even faster computer. So instead of that, it will move at a certain speed on any computer. Now when I did multiply that with time dot delta time, as you can see here, it just moves a bit slowly. Not that slow, by the way, but let's see how slow it is. I don't know. Alright, it's moving a bit more slowly. Yeah, so we're not gonna move it, because we're gonna rotate it. This game is two balls, where if obstacle hits these balls, then the game is over. So whenever you have to just rotate these balls on the z-axis to actually move. So what we're going to do is, instead of transform dot translate, we're going to write transform dot rotate. Transform dot rotate n, again in vector 3. So we're not going to rotate in the x-axis, no, with the comma. Alright, we're not going to rotate on the y-axis as well, because as you can see, we're going to rotate on the z-axis. Alright, Control Z. So rotate it on the z-axis. Let's say 1. Let's say speed. No, not space. S-P-E-E. Yeah, let's say with a certain speed. Alright, if you press now, what happened? Oh yeah, then. Alright, if you press now, you'll see it rotates with a certain speed. Alright, if I remove, yeah, so it rotates with a certain speed, but we want it to rotate anywhere that we want it to rotate. Like when we press the left button, it should rotate on the left, and when we press the right button, it should rotate on the right. So to do that, what you have to do is basically write something like this. If, right, you use something like input, we're going to take the player's input dot get key, input dot get key, and let's write key code dot, let's say A. So whenever we press the button A, then write, what do you call that, curly bracket, and put this here, Control C, no, X, right, and Control V. Now if you save this and play, nothing will happen, right? It's not, nothing is happening, but when you press the A button, see, it starts moving. Great, right? The speed is really slow. We have to make it a bit more faster and multiply it by time dot delta time, delta time, and let's just increase the speed because it will be really slow now. Let's put it at 100. Control save. Let's see what will happen. Now nothing is happening. Oh yeah, when you press this button, it rotates like a charm. Now similarly, as we did it for when you press A, so if we press D, the button D, then it should go on the right side, right? So write else, E-L-S-E, else if, and in small bracket write input dot get key is, let's say, key code dot D. Press tab, alright, and key code dot D, then just write transform, transform dot rotation, R-O-T-A-T, no, rotate, transform dot rotate will be 0, 0, S-P-E-E, speed, into time dot D-E-L-T-A, delta time, into time dot delta time. Now what you have to know is this: whenever you do this, it will go to the right side. Whenever the value is minus, it will go to the right side. Whenever the value is plus, it goes to the left side, as you can see. So what we have to do is write minus speed. So whenever the value is speed, whenever you press left, the value will go to the positive side into speed, right, into some amount of 100 positive side, so it will go here. But whenever you press the D button, it should go to the negative side, so it will move like that. So I think this will be all. Save this, right? So if I just play this, nothing's gonna happen first, but when I just do this, it goes to the left. When I do this, it goes to the right. So what you should do now is just fiddle around with this value. Let's say I'm going to keep it at 200. Just see what will feel really right and click here and then play. Okay, this feels fast. All right, this feels kind of smooth, right? What if I do 300? Right? Oh yeah, this feels great. For me, this feels really like great. This feels really great. So now when I when I end this game, as you can see, it went back to being 100, because whatever changes you make here will not be applied when you go back. Got it? So either you have to remember the value, but you don't have time to remember all the value. What if you made changes here? What if you changed it like this? What, are you going to remember all this? No, you're not. So what you have to do is just right click here and click on component, copy component. All right, like here, copy component. Click that. When you cut it, it will go back to 100. Click here again and write press component, not as new, just press component, and now it will be like that. See? And even if you go out, it will be the same. I'm gonna keep it at 300. It feels really fast and really great for me. So let's play. Alright, so the player has been set. One thing, I just see one problem here. This 2 should be in front of our player. So let's do that. Red ball. As you can see, this is called layer. In this layer, just press 1 and it will come in front. Here as well, just press 1 to come in front. So that is all we are going to do in this episode. Hope you like it. Thank you for watching. In the next episode, we're going to make our enemy and enemy collisions, or maybe even the enemy spawner. And I guess within 5 or 6 episodes, this whole game will be completed. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you tomorrow.